globally. This day coincided with the adoption of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. It is a day set to address the efforts in the fight against the menace of corruption and to prepare for the future. This year's theme is simply, "You are right, you are wrong, say no to corruption." This is cardinal, as our no to corruption will translate to security, employment, good roads, and will guarantee to us wider access to essential services such as health, care, and quality education. Corruption permeates every strata of the society and affects all of us. This year's theme seeks to re-emphasize the rights and responsibilities of all and sundry in the fight against corruption. These include the state's enforcement agency, the media, the academia, civil society organizations, and all of us. The place of Kano State as a pace-setter in the scheme of anti-corruption in Nigeria is in tandem with the theme for International Anti-Corruption Day. Without any doubt, Kano leads in the Nigerian Federation in complementing the efforts of the federal government in the fight against corruption. Undoubtedly, Kano State government is first among equals in the fight against corruption. In its complementary role, Kano State is the only state to establish legal and institutional structures for fighting corruption in the whole of the Federation. It is the first state to enact a state legislation for fighting corruption and the first to set up a sub-national anti-corruption agency. It is also the first to have an executive order under the OGP program, as well as the Kano Anti-Corruption Strategy. These two programs, the OGP is an aspect of anti-corruption crusade, because what OGP entails is open government partnership, as that is the name, and then it's about public engagement. It's about transparency, it's about accountability. So Kano State is the first to have an executive order on the OGP. And in the OGP, we have different thematic areas. We have thematic area of anti-corruption. We have on citizens' participation, on citizens' rights, and so many other thematic areas. So it is very, very pertinent to note here that the goodwill of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, saw it in his wisdom that Kano State should be among the states that should adopt the OGP program. So it is an aspect of the anti-corruption crusade. Then we also have the Kano State Anti-Corruption Strategy, which was developed sometimes in 2018. And even now, we also have the steering committee of the Kano State Anti-Corruption Strategy and the monitor and evaluation team all are on ground to fight corruption. These are aspects of fighting corruption. And it is only in Kano State that you see such kind of strategies put on ground. So we should definitely commend His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, in this direction. Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission under my leadership has been growing from grace to grace. Since my appointment in July 2021, which is virtually 5 months, 1 day today, we have reorganized the Commission and its overall approach to public service delivery and the fight against corruption. Our scorecard includes, but not limited to, the following. 1, the Commission recently intercepted and seized 2 trailers loaded with expired maize products that were brought into the Wano food market by some unpatriotic individuals. The expired maize, which had become toxic, were being mixed with good maize and sold to unsuspecting members of the public. The suspects were arrested and now facing criminal trial before the court. You see, as I said earlier on, the fight against corruption is not just the responsibilities of the corruption or let me say anti-graft agencies. It is my business, your business, and everybody's business. Because when we seized those trailers of expired maize, everybody was so shocked because it's like that activity has been going on in that Dawanau market. And you know the Dawanau market is one of the largest markets in West Africa. A lot of products were being supplied from the Dawanau market to other neighboring countries like Niger, Cameroon, and Cote d'Ivoire, and the rest. So, you know, having this kind of problem in such a market is not only detrimental to the economic progress of this country, but to even the West African region. So, God in his wisdom now gave us an opportunity to see what is going on in the Dawanau market. Apart from that expired maize, we have also seized so many other food items, but we felt that if we publicize it, it will definitely affect the integrity of that market. So what we did was, we took the suspects after investigation, the matter, and then we forwarded it to court, so that it will serve as a lesson, and it will also serve as deterrent to other people who are, you know, hell-bent in making dirty profit out of this kind of dangerous products.
Corruption and corrupt practices are synonymous or symptoms of a deeper problem in the relationship between the state and society in general, and in the function of democratic institutions in particular. Corruption is number one Nigeria's problem. It is the common denominator, and Nigerians have suffered both at home and abroad from the menace of corruption. At some point, and as rightly observed by the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the case of AG Ondose against AG Federation, Nigerian passports at some point were synonymous with corruption. Those who have traveled, they have seen how they were stigmatized. In fact, you may have to lie and say you are from Sudan. Otherwise, the moment you say you are from Nigeria, you are a criminal. You might not know that the taxi driver is a law enforcement person. He will start work on you. This is reality.
Like, share, and subscribe.